Good morning, friends. Welcome back to Astrology Today. My name is Mel Rose, and I'm here to share your daily aspects. Today is Monday, March 28, 2022. The sun is in Aries with Mercury and Chiron. So let's talk about how we identify as individuals and how we think we fit into the collective. There are a lot of very lonely people in the world today. Folks have been burned in one way or another by their interactions with the other, but here we have a golden opportunity now. Aries is the cardinal fire sign, and one thing that fire does in terms of creating fresh starts is it wipes the slate clean. Fire is an agent of change in that it spreads to consume everything that is combustible, leaving in its wake the bare bones upon which we will build our new dreams. The moon is a waning crescent. We're letting go of what no longer serves us, and this is a natural part of our creative cycle to clean house before starting anew. And the moon spends the day in Aquarius making ingress to Pisces this evening. Moon in Aquarius reminds us that we have a network of friends and allies to rely on. If you're struggling, if you could use some help wiping the slate clean, reach out to someone you know you can trust and who can help you. I'm getting right into the aspects. I just want to remind you that there is a handcrafted key on the right-hand side of the page. It holds most of the symbols that are here. If you desire a point of reference, it's right there. And I've divided the page into two columns, one for each of our luminaries. The moon is the luminary that sheds light on our inner lives. This is the stuff we think, feel, know, and intuit, how it feels to be in our body, heart, and mind, also our home. The lunar aspects and transits are all very brief, and they tend to get expressed as emotions, moods, or an energetic sort of theme for that part of the day. The sun is the luminary that sheds light on our outer lives. This is who we are and how we show up in our work, social, and civic spaces. It's our public face. I address the sun and the rest of the planetary aspects over here because they have more of an impact on how we meet the world. We begin with the moon today, Central Standard Time, friends, at 8:48 a.m. The moon makes a conjunct to Venus. Moon in conjunct with Venus. This is an amplification of our inner life and our sense of receptivity. It amplifies the love and receptivity in our hearts and homes. Love and receptivity, hearts and homes, right there. So if you're really feeling the love for those that you keep closest to your heart or close to you in your home, I won't be surprised. And then at 9:11, not even a half an hour later, the moon also makes a conjunct with Saturn. Moon in conjunct with Saturn intensifies that sense of order in our hearts and homes. So that's intensifies sense of order, hearts and homes right there. If anything is out of order, it will be obvious at this time, and we're likely to take action to set it right. Sun in Aries. When things are in good order, we'll be feeling especially secure and capable of many things. These two conjunctions are happening within a half an hour of one another, right there. So these energies are combined. Love and the sense of order amplified in our inner lives. If our love or our sense of order are in chaos at this moment, Sun, Chiron, and Mercury in Aries are here to say, wipe the slate clean, put your affairs and your houses in order. So this is sort of a three-way conjunction, as we'll see when we come up to that Venus conjunct Saturn that is also happening. But first I want to say that after this moon conjunct Saturn aspect, we have approximately a 14-hour void of course period of time where the inner life is relatively free from the influence of any specific sign. This is a good time to turn to our intuitive and creative practices, meditate, write, draw, whatever it is that you do to have these important conversations with yourself and with spirit. And during that void of course time, on the sun side of the page at 2:27 p.m., Venus makes a conjunction with Saturn. Taurus, Libra, Capricorn and Aquarius influenced people, this may be especially felt in your lives. It's a triple conjunction, friends. The 3 is the magic number, right? So Venus conjunct Saturn will be here with us just through tomorrow, the 29th. Very brief, but rather powerful. Our receptivity and love are amplified here with our sense of order and stability. This can come across as a stress test for your partnerships or your commitments, but it's really an opportunity, again, to set our affairs in order. Not always fun, but not bad timing. Remember that the moon is waning and it's time to release whatever isn't working. This doesn't have to be a sign to dump a whole relationship. In fact, it could be pointing to an attitude or an idea that you have about relating that needs to be cut loose. We have Mercury sextile Pluto also down here telling us we will know the truth. Our discernment will tell us what to shed so that we can, again, wipe the slate clean in time for this new moon in Aries on Thursday. And by the way, all of these conjunctions are visible in one way or another. I like to type in the browser bar something like Moon and Venus conjunction and follow the click or click the link to follow inthesky.org. They will give you information specific to your region for viewing the planets as they cluster in our morning or evening skies. It could be a lot of fun to get up sort of early in the morning or stay up kind of late at night and, you know, just observe them being right there together. And this conjunction, you might actually be able to see the moon sort of overlap Venus as you go. Also, on the sun side, Mercury reaches its aphelion at 8:11 p.m. So Mercury rules Virgo and Gemini, so people under those influences are probably the most affected. This is its farthest point, Mercury's farthest point from the sun in its orbit around the sun. Mercury is very close to the sun, though it moves very quickly, and the aphelion isn't likely to feel like very much because, like, the Mercury being far from the sun is still not very far from the sun, and it's still moving very quickly. There is a potential for slight delays in information communication in our mail or electronics here. A little patience can go a long way. And then back to the moon side at 11:31. In the evening, the moon makes ingress to Pisces. This is a time to relax, dream, and create. Moon in Pisces is an end to the lunar cycle, and so it gives us a couple of days to reflect as we release. Take a couple of deep breaths, feel inspired. Soon, the new moon in Aries is going to call us to action. Okay, so what's going on in the ongoing energies? We have Mars square Uranus over here through the 31st, bringing up impulsivity with initiative. Aries and Aquarius influences. This one may have your attention at this time, though my Libra spouse has been feeling it too. Perhaps we feel frustrated or held back. We're likely to be expressing our frustration right now, and some impatient growling may come up, something like that. Mars sextile Chiron here through the 30th may help provide a bit of a buffer. Also, an Aries and Aquarius jam at this time. We are encouraged to be honest with ourselves now, to really embrace the clean slate opportunities and let bygones be gone by. So I do want to mention Mars right now is still in Aquarius. So Aquarius is ruled by Uranus and Saturn. This is very much about change, but it's also about our sense of security in the world, feeling secure and stable as we make changes, as we go through them. And then again, Chiron is this opportunity to be honest with ourselves so that we can heal any emotional stuff that's coming up, again, like frustration or this feeling of being thwarted. Coming up on, also Today, Mercury sextile Pluto is in its final day. Gemini, Virgo, and Scorpio influenced people pay attention here. Our intellect has been diligently working together with transformation in our lives. We see clearly the truth of the changes we've been through, and we will know the truth regardless. Tell the truth too, friends. It's the best way to make an end or a start to something that's close to your heart. Coming up on Thursday, we have the new moon in Aries, just the clean slate we've been looking for, freshly consecrated in fire and truth, ready to begin again. Friday and Saturday, we experience another triple conjunction. The Sun, Chiron, and Mercury in Aries are going to have a little party as we are making our plans to move forward. Isn't that fun? And that's it for today's astrology, friends. Thank you so much for tuning in. While you're here, won't you like my video, subscribe, and click the notifications bell? I appreciate the support. I post here every day, and I wouldn't want you to miss a thing. If you have any questions or comments, please put them in the rhythm section below. I will see them and usually respond. Special shout out to my watcher Laura, who asked yesterday about the fact that the planets are currently all clustered together in about 5/12 of the sky. I will have to do some further writing about that. When I do, it will likely be found on my Instagram page. Over there, I am at Astrology Today with Melanie Rose. And now I'm going to take a few minutes to talk tarot. I will discuss the tarot card on the side of the page, and then I will make a quick rundown of the aspects and throw a card to speak to today's energies. So the card on the side of the page is the Two of Wands, and Two of Wands relates directly in astrology to the first 10 days of the sun's transit through Aries. So we're at the beginning of the zodiac year. We're at the beginning of the first fire sign of the zodiac. Of course, we would start the year with fire, with initiative, with spark, with drive, right? And this is the beginning also of the Wands journey in Tarot. Wands equate to fire in Tarot. So this is very much a time of fresh starts, of making new beginnings. And, you know, I can't take that out right now of the context of transformation, of Pluto's presence in our lives, Pluto's presence in Capricorn still having an influence on how we view our stability and structure. So this Mercury sextile Pluto is really helping us see the truth as we are able to move forward, to see the truth of the endings we've gone through, as well as the beginnings that we're trying to start, okay? Because the beginnings are often somehow in one way or another predicated on the end. And right now the encouragement is really to let go of anything that's not going to be part of your journey going forward. You don't want to have a bunch of heavy boxes to carry with you into the new world, into the new life. So, you know, let that baggage go. If it's trying to fall away, just allow it. And, you know, this is really a time of discovery, self-discovery, and planning. We use our sense of initiative to take our vision and transform it into action. We use our sense of drive. We use our ability to push forward, to take an idea and make it a thing that is actually happening in the world. You know, and, you know, this person, as Labyrinthos says it, beholds the material in which they can make their designs come true. So, you know, you really can take a look at your world, the world that you're living in, and the materials that you have a lot of effect over, the resources that come from within and the resources that also come from without. And, you know, you can envision them together in a way that you can push forward and create something beautiful and new. Now is the time to really begin thinking about that, as we are letting go of the stuff that will keep us from moving forward and getting ready to really clean slate, set those intentions and make those plans so we can put them in motion. Okay, and now I'm going to go ahead and shuffle my cards a little bit more while I remind myself and the cards that the sun is in Aries with Mercury and Chiron. So let's talk about that initiative we feel to heal our sense of belonging in the world right now, friends. It's springtime. It's time for growth. It's, you know, it precedes maturation. Okay, so we're fresh and new in this life, like the Fool card. And, the future is wide open. What direction do you want to grow in? And how do you want to perceive yourself, and how you belong in the world? And then the waning crescent moon is asking us just to release, to let go. If it's trying to fall away, let it fall away. If it has to go, it's time to let it go. We're clearing the table, so to speak. The clean slate is what we're seeking. And moon in Aquarius, and then moving into Pisces. This is a shift from, sort of networking and relying on our allies, to, going within and reflecting. It's the end of the lunar cycle before we reach that new moon in Aries. And so it's a good time to just reflect and play and be a little creative, before it's time to respond again to that call to action. Mars square Uranus and Mars sextile Chiron. Be honest with yourself as you feel the frustration and want to act out. This is a good way to be able to mend that sense of frustration, to heal the feeling of being thwarted that comes across, so that you can, approach it with a better understanding, to not take things personally, and to not let things get in the way of your progress, right? And then Venus conjunct Saturn, commitment stress test, but maybe not, depending on your commitments, depending on the relationship you're talking about. This can be your romantic partnerships or your workplace partnerships, your friends and families, your commitments that you've made to yourself. But it's all in a very amplified energy with Saturn, our planet, for order. So it's really time to put our affairs in order, to think about our relationships and what order they're in, right? Some of those commitments aren't going to stand the test. And, that can be stressful, that can be difficult, it can have a depressing effect on our lives. But, again, we've got Sun in Aries with Chiron and Mercury. So the motion is forward, and the advice from the moon is to let go what is not working. And then Mercury and aphelion, just expect some perhaps delays in your information and travel. This can include your electronic communications, but communications in general, even like the mail that you receive, you might see some delays. And then Mercury sextile Pluto, we see clear to the core. The truth will be told, even if we are being lied to, even if the situation we're in seeks to deceive us, we will know the truth. And knowing the truth, what option do we have but to act on it? And then on the inner life side of the page, these conjunctions are some pretty powerful vibrations first thing in the morning. We're feeling a lot of love. We're feeling that sense of order and stability. So it's good to be in that state of mind as we come into that Venus conjunct Saturn, or to have had that state of mind as we come into that Venus conjunct Saturn, to be reminded of our commitments and the love that we have for the commitments that we have made. 14 hours void, of course, get into your intuitive practices. And then late this evening, the moon makes ingress to Pisces, so that we can relax and reflect for a couple of days before we are called back into action. And with all of that said, I'm going to turn this card. Two of Pentacles. Seeking the balance, friends. Seeking the balance between getting what we want and having things in order. I've had an experience. I have a lot of experience with this one. There's always, I think for everybody, there's a little push and pull where we have these things that we like to specifically spend our money on, or things that we specifically like to do with our bodies. Coins are about our material resources, so what you have in terms of your body, your health, but also your wealth and your finances and the stuff that you have. So sometimes I go after stuff that will satisfy temporarily, sort of at the cost of my long-term stability. And it's okay to calculate to make that choice, but it also puts the stability on the weak side, right? So we have to seek the balance. We have to choose the stable choice first. We have to make the choice that makes us feel secure, or that ensures our long-term security, before we just always choose the thing that feels good in the moment. That's what's coming to me for that. So, like too much of either thing though, all right? Too much just getting what you want, or too much striving for that stability and structure, the point where we limit ourselves unnecessarily. Either way, that's going to have an effect on our emotional response to the way things are going in our lives, to how we feel. That you see these choppy sort of wavy waves behind this person. And so again, it's a balance. We sometimes choose the secure prospect, and we sometimes choose the temporary security of just fulfillment. And again, it's okay to choose both ways, but make sure that you're choosing security often. Okay, don't put it off, because if you're just juggling one coin, then you're just juggling one coin. You need both of these coins. You need both to be getting what you want from life, and also to be choosing things that make you feel secure in the long run. And that is what came up for me today. I do see that we have 2 2s here, so that can add up to 4. I see initiative and seeking the balance in our material lives, right? So that's, don't don't burn up all of your future security, just trying to feel good in the moment. This is really about planning for future security, though. So I see both of these people really seeking to make the choice that secures them the solid future, and that is what I feel we should be doing at this time too. And sometimes choosing is not about taking something on, okay? Sometimes choosing is about letting go. I know I've said it a couple of times today, like in this waning crescent moon, if there's something that feels like it just wants to fall away, if there's something that seems to be drifting away from us, let it go. It's okay. We can choose to let things go, even things that we might have chosen for ourselves in the past. That doesn't mean we have to have a lifelong commitment to choosing that one thing again and again. Okay. And if it feels like it's drifting away, or it just doesn't feel good to do it, or it feels like something that we should, choose not to choose, something that we, can ensure a more secure and dynamic future by allowing it to drift away from us, just do that. That's a choice that you can make as well. Okay, I believe that's all I have to say about that, friends. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I appreciate you all so much for being here. My name is Mel Rose, and I will see you back here tomorrow for more Astrology Today.